The amount of time I've spent in Woodland mansions is genuinely frightening. If you don't understand what the intro was referencing, that's okay, you must be new here. Hi, I'm Cornmilk, welcome to my channel. What it was referencing was the fact that, well, this is going to be my third time trying to 100% a Woodland mansion in hardcore with no outside materials, except each time I've made it progressively harder and harder because that's what I do. The original challenge was just to 100% a Woodland mansion in hardcore Minecraft with no outside materials, but as it turns out, it was kind of easy, especially considering the fact that my mansion generated with only 2 evokers. So I decided we're doing it again, and I did it again, this time making sure that there were more evokers. There were 4 evokers, and I did it without a shield and without a crafting table. But that was also kind of easy, so we're upping the ante again. This time, there will be at least 6 evokers, and I won't be allowed an axe, and I'll have to have hostile mob noises turned all the way off, so I won't be able to hear any of the mobs coming at me. But before we can start the torture, the video, we have to establish some actual logistics and ground rules for what this entails. Firstly, when I say I'm 100%ing a Woodland mansion, that means I am clearing all of the rooms at least once, and I am getting rid of all naturally spawning evokers and vindicators. It doesn't mean I'm clearing all the mobs out, because with the light levels in mansions what they are, I would have to literally light up the entire mansion and get lucky. So no, I'm just clearing out all of the existing rooms at least once, and I am getting rid of all of the naturally spawning vindicators and evokers. And in terms of doing it in hardcore, it's not technically hardcore. It's my version of hardcore, which means I start in creative so I can use cheats to locate the closest mansion and teleport myself to it and check to make sure that there's enough evokers in the mansion, because we aren't doing a 2 evoker mansion again, and this time I promised we'd have at least 6. So I need to have the cheats so I can check to make sure everything's okay before spending a lot of time doing a mansion and then realizing it was never the right kind in the first place. But when I'm actually doing the run, I'm in survival, I have myself locked in hard, and if I die, I quit the world. Also, I don't use cheats. Because, seriously, if I was in hardcore, I wouldn't have access to cheats. The cheats are just so I can set it up in the beginning and check my work at the end. And no outside materials means no outside materials, which means I can't go in with anything. But what it also means is I can't be taking apart the mansion's walls to try and get resources. Yes, I can take anything that's in a room, but I can't be taking apart the walls themselves. I also can't leave the mansion at any point because, my job is to, 100% it, not just wander about. And there's all of the rules that I talked about, which is that I can't use a crafting table, I can't use a shield, and then for this time, I can't use an axe, and I have to have all of my hostile mob noises turned off. Also, this isn't going to be all of the footage, because it took me over an hour to, complete a successful run, and I'm not making you sit through an hour worth of footage. Nah. But if for some reason you're like, dang, Corn, I need to see all of that footage, it will be posted, as it always is, in an unlisted video in the description. And there, it'll be mostly unedited. I do need to mute some sections for, privacy reasons, but there won't be any cuts. That's all I have to say. Let me put the rules in, a cool text blurb, and then we'll be on our way. Well, that was a cool text blurb. Now, let's get into it. We start where all worlds start, in the Create a World menu, because that's where all worlds start. And as you can see, I am naming this world Hardcore Mansion Run Finale Big Smiley Face. And yes, this is the finale. More explanation will come after I've actually completed this run, so just stick around if you want to know why this is the finale. But anyway, I've created the world, I'm using /locate to find the nearest mansion, teleporting myself to it, and then I'm using this cool command right here to check to see how many evokers are in the building. As you can see, there are at least 6 evokers, given that there are 6 evokers, so I'm putting myself in survival, turning my hostile mob noises all the way down to 0, and I'm starting the run. Now, one of the crucial things to surviving a Woodland mansion is having a lot of blocks, but as you can see, there are no rooms in this front area that I can easily steal blocks from, so what I'm doing is stealing carpet, because carpet is the MVP. Some of you might not understand yet how valuable carpet is, and maybe some people are thinking, Corn, you said you wouldn't take apart the Woodland mansion, but I would argue this is not the walls of the mansion, this is not the floor of the mansion, this is carpet, and carpet is invaluable. Carpet is worth more than all of you combined when it comes to beating a Woodland mansion. So yes, I'm going to steal the carpet, and then I'm going to start trying to clear out rooms. Well, actually, I'm going to make a pit stop first. In the first room I can see that has easily accessible solid blocks for me to steal, because although carpet is great, sometimes you do need solid blocks, because skeletons can still shoot through carpet. But after that, I do then go around and start blocking off rooms, and you might be thinking, Corn, why are you blocking off with carpet? Didn't you just get solid blocks? And I'll remind you, solid blocks are for skeletons, because even though it might look like the vindicators can just jump over this layer here, they can't, and I can kill them super easily, and that's the same for most mobs. The only mobs that carpet doesn't work on are skeletons and spiders because they can climb. Spiders are just bad. And now you might be thinking, Corn, you just ranted about not using solid blocks. Why are you using solid blocks on that room? Do you know it has a skeleton? No, I know it has a vindicator, and I don't trust it because there are slabs, and I'm just going to use the solid block because when there are slabs, I think carpet goes a little bit wonky and I don't trust it. I'm using full blocks. But anyway, here is the proof that the carpet definitely works against vindicators. Voila, I'm going to punch this guy to death now, but it's going to be sped up. And the funny thing about having hostile mob noises turned off is that they don't make like their pain noises normally, they just make the generic kind of Steve one, and I find that very silly. But anyway, that was the entire right side of the first floor of the Woodland Mansion. It did not have a lot of room, so let's try out the left side, shall we? And I did try to explore the left side of the mansion, but the stairs to the second floor make sort of a hostile mob spawn area, and there was a skeleton and some zombies, and the skeleton is why we grabbed solid blocks, by the way, because I'm trying to block myself in here so I can punch it to death. And here I'm trying like a jump crit, except it shoots me, and I realize that's probably a bad idea, so I'm just gonna punch it to death for the rest of the time. And then it dies, but that's not the end, because I'm going back towards the staircase, I see a second skeleton, and as I'm trying to figure out what to do with the second skeleton, I see a zombie coming at me. Now, I don't want to fight a zombie and a skeleton at the same time, so I'm trying to lure the zombie away from the skeleton, and everything's going great. But then that's two zombies, and so I think I should probably build up, so I start building up with carpet, because mind you, carpet is incredible. And then I get to work punching the zombies to death, which takes a while, but you're getting to see it sped up, so congratulations. And once again, having hostile mob noises turned off means we just get some generic punching sounds. And the fact that it's zombies is actually pretty helpful because I'm hoping they'll drop rotten flesh because as you can see, I have taken damage and I am hungry. And luckily enough, they do drop rotten flesh, so I'm able to heal up a bit. So I go back towards the stairs, except whoops, I forgot there was another skeleton, so now I need to fight this skeleton. I get shot again, I am very low health, and I eventually beat the skeleton, being very careful not to jump crit because with the amount of health I'm on right now, if that skeleton shoots me again, I am dead, dead, dead. But I beat the skeleton and I go back towards the staircase and I block off the front door because at nighttime I don't want mobs to be able to walk in. And lo and behold, more zombies, which is actually kind of convenient given the fact that I am close to dying and need food. But it's also inconvenient because somehow there are 3 of them and I have to fight all of them, so I build up and I fight them all. And you might be thinking, Corn, you said you were almost dead. You're at half health. That's not the same thing. But in a mansion where vindicators can 2-hit you, that kind of is the same thing. So yes, I'm low on health and I'm a little bit low on hunger, so killing zombies is convenient because they'll drop me some food. I do manage to kill the zombies, and remember how I was trying to get to the left side of the mansion and then I just kept getting attacked by mobs? So yeah, I do manage to get to the left side of the mansion now, and I start blocking off rooms on that side. And here, I see the Vindicator, and I just straight up block off the hallway because I figure that'll be easier. And it is, because carpet is amazing. This video might as well be titled Carpet is the most wonderful thing in Minecraft, because look at it, it's so silly. Why can't the Vindicator get over that? If that was just one block, the Vindicator would be able to get over it. Carpet is magic. Everyone should love carpet. The next room I go to tackle is a little bit weird, because it has a Vindicator, but then I see it also has 2 creepers, so I just kind of nope out of there, like it's blocked off, but it is a problem for future Corn, not current Corn, and current Corn is just gonna go around and block off the rooms and see that there's a Vindicator in a room that there normally isn't a Vindicator. Like, the wool room doesn't spawn a Vindicator, but you block it off anyway because you assume, they just kind of wandered in. And then you go check out the treasure room next door, and it is the literal best thing ever. Dang! Whoa, okay. I don't want to say it. But this might be the run. So I finished up the first floor, and yes, I did finally deal with, like, the creepers and the Vindicator in the room. I just punched the creeper a lot and ran away back and forth and back and forth. Here it is very, very, very sped up because I had to do it twice with the 2 creepers, and then I killed the Vindicator and went back to the right side because on that side I had actually left a Vindicator alive in, like, this forge room, so I killed that Vindicator, and then in that room there is lava. And I was able to make the best weapon ever. Now we're talking. Some might say it's a little bit underhanded and rude to burn, magical things alive, considering like witch burnings and witch trials and stuff. But I'd also say that when you're not allowed to use an axe, you use what you can get. So anyway, it was time to move on to the second floor. And there's generally a group of guys who want to stab you at the top of the stairs. So you run up the stairs and then you run down the stairs and then you run over to where you very carefully built up in the wall and you build up higher. And then you can just punch them at your leisure and everything will be fine and they can't hit you. And given the fact that they just kind of make generic noises, you can actually try to tap out like a rhythm to a song. 10 points to whoever in the comments can guess what I was trying to tap out. No, actually 100 points because I don't remember anymore. But once those guys were dead, I did another quick run up to see if anyone was going to stab me, and when no one immediately tried to stab me, it was actually time to tackle the second floor. So I blocked off rooms and I cleared rooms, but more importantly, I was very careful when I was checking around the corners. Because the thing about not playing with hostile mob sounds turned on, the thing about having them off, is that you cannot hear anything coming. So you have to be very careful going around corners, or everyone will stab you. So what I would do was I would go in F5 very carefully by a corner to see if I could see anyone. Like here, where I notice that there's a Vindicator right around the corner, so I can plan accordingly. I go and I quickly make a safe place to pillar up so that when the Vindicator notices me, I can go there and everything will be fine. And if I hadn't known that there was a Vindicator around the corner, I wouldn't have that easy place to build up and I might have gotten hit instead of, being able to build up safely. So I explore some more rooms, but I'm not seeing a lot of Vindicators, which is interesting because I would think there would be more. So what I do is I go and I check where a bunch of Vindicators generally pile up, which is the stairs, which I find so funny because they get stuck in the little area behind the stairs, and so then it's just like shooting fish in a barrel. I feel kind of bad, but it's so easy. It's only ever a little bit dangerous when, like, there's an evoker there, but there wasn't an evoker there. It was all Vindicators, so I was just holding down and just punching endlessly into a bunch of. They were running up to meet me. It was almost kind of sad. But, it wasn't sad because, we're trying to kill each other. This is how it is. I'm clearing out the mansion, whatever. We do our thing. But anyway, once I had cleared all the Vindicators in the stair area, all that was left on the second floor was basically the evokers, which I had all neatly trapped in different rooms. Not necessarily the rooms they were supposed to be in or the rooms they spawned in, but I had got them all stuck in rooms, so it was time to try and get them one by one. But I wasn't risking any type of full frontal assault. No. I was just gonna snipe them with my lava bucket. And if it weren't for, like, the visual effect of the evoker being on fire, I never would have known, because not having hostile mob noises means I can't tell when it's being damaged, like at all. But what I could tell was that the evoker had moved away from the door, and so I wasn't going to be able to light it on fire with my lava bucket again unless I went in the room, which I wasn't planning on doing, so I just moved on to try and target a different evoker, and hope this one would be moved when I got back. So I go evoker hunting in a different room, and as I'm trying to tear out the wall to get at the feetsies, the evoker walks right into my range, and I'm very easily able to set it on fire. And once again, the silent burning to death is a little bit eerie and uncomfortable, because for you guys, you at least have me commenting over it. I just had to sit with the silence while I watched a guy silently burn to death, so there's that. Except he didn't actually burn to death, not there at least, because just one lava bucket is not enough to kill an evoker. Want to know how I know? Lots and lots of practice. One lava bucket will get an evoker down pretty low, but it won't kill it entirely, and even though I had the evoker sit in the lava bucket, it didn't die. It required another hit with that same lava bucket, which I did, but unfortunately, because of how long the evoker had sat in the lava bucket the first time I put the lava bucket down, the totem burned up with it. Aw, dang it! Hate it when that happens. I don't know what possessed me to go back into that room. Maybe I was just holding out hope that the totem was still okay, even though I had heard it burn up, but I went back into that room, and that's when I saw it. The second evoker in that same room. Oh, shoot. Didn't even see that guy. Given the really terrible lighting in Woodland Mansions, I'm not sure if you saw that guy, but if you want to pause the video and look at it, or I'm gonna make things easier and just put like a lightened version with the guy circled, so let me just put that here. Anyway, cool. Everyone sees the second evoker? Yeah, my next goal was to get rid of that second evoker, because I don't like surprises, and I especially don't like seeing an evoker where I thought I had gotten rid of the evoker, because I was pretty sure there was only one evoker in that room, but I guess a different guy had wandered in at some point before I had closed it fully, so time to get rid of that evoker. This guy, as it would turn out, also liked moving away from me as I was pleasantly trying to burn him to death in lava, so I had to leave the room and go to a different room to sort of like break my way in over there to make sure that I could get him on fire the second time. But hey, at least he dropped a totem when he died. Thank you! Alright, there we go. There's my prize. I win. Oh, I'm not supposed to have that. Well, I didn't use it, so it doesn't matter. Probably shouldn't. Okay. Yeah. We clear now? Yeah, we're clear. We're clear. Okay. There was only one other evoker on the floor who I very easily took care of. Yeah, woo, okay. Only one guy in here. That's good. If there was more than one guy in here, I was going to be a little bit worried. And then it was time to move on to the third floor. Couple of things. So I went up the stairs slowly, and I saw two evokers at the top, and I immediately hid by a wall while I tried to figure out what to do. The plan I came to was that I was going to block their line of sight and then try to do some more snooping, but as it turned out, I'm not very good at blocking people's lines of sight. Oh god. I saw the hands go up. Hands are not good. So I hung out on the second floor for a bit, and then once enough time had passed that I figured the evokers had probably forgotten about me, I went back up to the third floor to try it again. Am I good? We'll find out. We'll find out. Once again, I was utilizing the hide by the wall and hope they can't see you tactic. So I successfully blocked off the third floor to make sure that no one from the third floor would be able to get down to the second floor because I didn't want to have to search through the second floor again. But I honestly wasn't quite sure what to do because I was super afraid of just running into an evoker. So I figured, hey, sometimes there's like a secret room behind the Vindicator face in the mansions when it's on a wall. So I figured I'd check there, and there was a secret room, but it was a really bad secret room. The worst secret room. Oh no, I know what that secret room. That's the secret spider room. Burn it with fire. But I cannot burn it with fire yet. Okay. I'll be back for you. I know what you are. You're terrible. The secret room did not help me with the evokers in the slightest. It just gave me another thing to do. It was worthless. It was worse than worthless. It had negative value. It was terrible. But enough complaining about that because I still didn't know what to do about the evokers. And then I decided, since I knew that the room next to me was one of those rooms that has like a cage fighting thing in the middle and like an upper layer that has a chest, what if I just like scaled the wall next to me and broke in by the chest? Oh, wait a minute. I can do the trick. Ha! Okay. Come on, then. Let me break it. Just a little break in and enter. A lot of it break in and enter. This is my fourth 13. Literally, what the heck? I'm looking around in the room, and all I'm seeing below is a zombie and a Vindicator, so I figure it's probably safe for me to go down the ladder. And just as I'm about to, oh god, I see the evoker in the corner, and I get out of there. Alright, so that's something. That's intel I did not have. I know where an evoker is. It's in a room that I could likely block in, so my new goal now, above all else, is to block that evoker in the room so it doesn't move and so I know where it is. And when I say above all else, I mean above all else. I was willing to have the evoker see me, as you can tell by the fact that I'm literally breaking down my barricade right now, and I block in the room. And then I think to myself, I can always run away. Let's just try to block in all of the rooms. So I make a mad dash for it, and I start blocking off rooms. I am blocking off rooms everywhere I can see, left, right, center, everywhere there's a room, I am blocking it off. And then I get to the end of the hall, and I very carefully do my around the corner trick in F5, and I see there's an evoker at the end of the hall in a room that has an open door. It'll have a line of sight to me, so I just block off the entire hall. Now, as I was blocking off the rooms, I noticed that there was another one of those rooms that has like a cage in the middle and a chest on the second layer, so I thought, hey, why don't I pull that same trick I pulled last time and just go for the chest? So I go and I break in again, I steal the stuff from the chest. At least this one didn't have another 13 in it. And as I'm having a look around, guess what I see? Another evoker, it happened again! And this one does have a silly little guy in it, so... At this point, I'm 99% sure I've identified all of the rooms that have evokers, so like all of the rooms that are actually a threat. So I decide I'm going to go about and clear out all of the rooms I know I don't have evokers. And that is where I made my biggest mistake. A mistake that very nearly killed me. Well, nearly killed me is a bit misleading, given that it did kill me, I just got better. Oh my god. I'm an idiot, 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 I'm an idiot. Good, good, good. Good job. Good job, Corn. Okay. And once again, carpet saves the day. This is why carpet is great. Okay. Note to self. Ah, good note, good note. That scare really got to me. The next time I saw a Vindicator, it was in a room, and it did not see me, and I didn't want to have to go any closer. So I decided, you know what? The best way to entice a Vindicator towards you when they aren't looking at you is, of course, sing parody songs at it. Hey, baby, won't you look my way? I could be your new addiction. Hey, baby, won't you da-da-da? Come on, stab me already. I need you to look at me. Please happen at this time. Man, I can't do parodies forever. Just turn around. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to. Come on, man. We should all be very thankful that I did not burst into a rendition of Come On Eileen called Come On Stab Me. But anyway, it clearly wasn't working, so I decided to do something a bit riskier. Welcome to Risky Plays 101. And once again, carpet saves the day. Carpet supremacy. Carpet is great. Carpet is real great. After I finished punching that Vindicator to death, I decided to go back down the hall and check in on the evoker I'd locked in an entire section of the hall. Oh, great, okay. And lucky for me, he was right by the barrier I'd made, and in a very convenient place to be set on fire. I'd like to once again comment on how it's really, really kind of weird to have an evoker burn to death in front of you and not have any noise happen, so you're welcome for commentating over this. The first lava bucket didn't kill the evoker, of course, but the second did, and I was very careful, so it dropped a totem. Yeah, okay. Good job, Corn. Yeah, back up again. There's nothing in here. We good. We're doing good. We're doing great. This is good. We're doing good. Okay. And then it was just back to the regular old method of evoker hunting, where you take out the piece of wall that's closest to the floor and look for the toesies. And here I saw a bunch of toesies in one area, so I was able to hit almost all of them with one lava bucket. But the two mobs I had gotten were a zombie and a Vindicator, neither of which was an evoker. And I knew there were still more evokers, so I just kept taking out more bits of wall looking for the toesies of an evoker until I found it. And just like all of the other evokers, one lava bucket was not enough to do in this evoker, but two definitely did the job, and I got another totem because once again I was being careful. Woo, okay. And then it was just a matter of doing in the last evoker. There you are. And there you're not. Thank you. Alright. That was all of the evokers and vindicators in the mansion, but there was still that spider room I had found. The only way I can describe that spider room is as some sort of Sisyphean torment, because the thing is, breaking a spawner without any tools takes 20 seconds, and the spawner will randomly spawn anywhere between 10 seconds and 30 seconds a new spider. If it's at a max of if it's at 6, it won't spawn another. But you know what makes it really hard to break something? Spiders attacking you. So really, there was no way I was going to do it if I had to keep dealing with the spiders. So I had the brilliant idea to just block back up the spider room and then go from the second floor, not the third floor. And with that, I was finally able to get rid of the spawner and defeat the spider room. Once the spawner was gone, it was really, really easy to clear out all of the spiders in the spider room. And then, well, that was the mansion, wasn't it? So there we have it, the finale. I 100%ed a woodland mansion in Minecraft Hardcore that had 6 evokers with no crafting table, no outside materials. I'm doing this in the wrong order. Give me a sec. I can do it. Hold on. No outside materials, no crafting table, no shield, no axe, no mob noises, no hostile mob noises on, and I did it. I did it. But by now you're probably wondering why I've been saying finale a bit. And the reason is, well, I have an entire PowerPoint presentation, so let's get into it. Welcome to my presentation, What's All This About It Being the Finale, by me, Cornelius Nutsausenton. So, can't I just comment, Corn, you could never do it again? And you can! But I have the power of statistics on my side. So unless y'all are cool with some very specific changes to this kind of challenge, ones that could be construed as cheating various aspects, I'm just gonna ignore the comments. My will is as strong as yours and my kingdom is as great. You have no power over me. And I think by the time I'm done with all of these statistics, you'll understand why it is this way. Because my first point here is the effort result curve. Some of you may have seen this before, but basically what it's saying is that this is the amount of effort you're putting in, the personal resources you use, and this is the progress you're making towards your overall goal. And here is like when you're in this section, you're putting in you're not when you're the effort to progress ratio is very good in terms of progress. You're putting in very little effort and making more progress comparatively. Here's the inflection point. We are starting to sort of make equal effort to progress. And here we've got diminishing returns, which means you're putting in a lot of effort, but you're not making a ton of progress. So you might be thinking, corn, neat. What does that relate to? So let's just look at like the result curves for the way I do videos. So a typical video, the personal resources used, I don't get to diminishing returns. Like it goes through concept and planning and filming and editing and thumbnailing and all that stuff. But as you can see from the colors, we're not in the red. It all generally hits before diminishing returns, and some of them take longer than others. But a more complex video like this one, concept and playing and filming and filming and filming and filming and editing and thumbnailing, and you see we're in red because it takes very long. Because included here, you guys don't see all the failed attempts I make. This is a video I took of my videos folder after like a day of attempts. Yeah, that's a day. I was trying this for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or an entire gosh darn week of just attempting this every day during my free time. And all of these are failed attempts that you will never see because I deleted them because gosh, that's a lot of space it was taking up on my computer. But this is all just to say that however long you think filming takes, there's a gajillion things you never see and a gajillion little hidden things that I did have to film, but maybe they got cut for some reason or maybe it just wasn't right so I did it again. Point 2, physical feasibility, which is to say, given the amount I've done this, I had a lot of data about the spawn rates of evokers in randomly generated woodland mansions. And so these are two different kinds of graphs. This one is more readable if you're not as familiar with statistics, but it's basically the frequency of evokers in randomly generated woodland mansions. So as you can see, the most frequent number is 3. You might be wondering about the bins on the bottom. That's what they're called, bins. But just think of it as the number on the left and the right. So this is all of the times there was 0 or 1. This is all the times there was 2. This is all the times there was 3. So 3 was the most common number of evokers to find in a randomly generated woodland mansion. And then over here, what this is saying that if this is the percent of all of the data it was. So if we go to 5, you'll see that 5 is roughly like 90% of all my data. So like over here, the amount 90% of my data had 5 evokers or 1 evoker or 4 evokers or 2 evokers or 3 evokers or technically 0 because this is one bin. But that means that to get a 6 evoker mansion like the one I said I was going to, that was like 10% was getting 6 or above. So as you can see, I went through a lot of runs without actually getting to do anything because I had to just keep resetting the world. And so if I was going to do it with more evokers, it would be slimmer and slimmer chances. I did over 300 runs. 300 is just the data points I have. I did over 300, and really, I would have only had 6 shots at it. Also, I wouldn't even have had 6 shots at it because none of those were actually working. And you might be thinking, Corn, what does that mean? It's because of this very fancy bug where attacking a group of evokers gives nearby evokers infinite detection range and broken attack behavior. You might have been wondering why I was doing it with a lava bucket. I had to do it with a lava bucket because if I attacked in any way, all of the other evokers were going to target me infinitely. It didn't matter what happened. The way to fix this bug is to combat log because then it sort of resets the evokers and only the evoker you attacked is aware of it. But I felt that was kind of cheaty, so I wasn't willing to do that. So the TLDW, as in too long didn't watch of this, is I'm not doing any more of these, even if you comment, because really it's just not feasible. Unless you guys really want me to, whereas this video gets 50 likes, everyone is cool with me using a set seed to combat the fact that, the seeds the likelihood of me getting one of these by random chance is very slim. So everyone is cool with me using a set seed, and I'm allowed to reset the evoker bug by combat locking because none of the seeds I found over here had both a bucket and one of the rooms that spawns with lava. So none of these were feasible. And also, just as an FYI, I'm not upset with anyone who commented about like Corn, you could never do it again because I love those comments. I found the challenges hilarious and a lot of fun, and I loved them. And I am trying to be realistic about the future, and I don't want to spend a lot of time chasing something I'm really unlikely to succeed at with all of the random chance involved when I could be making other contact that I enjoy more. Because you can only spend so much time in a woodland mansion before you start procrastinating doing attempts of the woodland mansion by doing your homework weeks in advance. So yeah, I'm doing great in college. But I never want to see a woodland mansion again. So that was my presentation. I hope you guys can understand my reasons. And you know what you got to do if you want to make me torment myself again. But anyway, if you've stuck around this long, thanks for watching. Like, legitimately, that's a long time to stick around in a video, and I started doing statistics. Are you sure you want to keep watching? But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in my corner of the internet sometime soon. See you next time, maybe.